Hey.
Happy Monday and welcome to SJU. The first thing that we want to say today is that we are aware that there was a mass shooting last night in Las Vegas. Many people lost their lives. Many people have been injured. Over 500 so far have been injured. And at last count, 58 people lost their lives. So our thoughts and prayers are with everyone in Las Vegas and that was affected today. If you're in the area, first and foremost, we really hope that you're safe and that your loved ones are safe. And secondarily, the hospitals are going to need blood. So if you can and you're able, please do donate blood today. Again, our thoughts are with everyone that was affected. We are going to...
But to also clarify, because I was wrong. Obviously, they really need it in Vegas right now, but they need it everywhere because they always do. You never know what's going to happen these days, and so it's a very good thing to do that you can do very quickly and easily.
And also in Vegas, it's perishable, so you can do it later in the week if you don't want to go right now and wait in line. Like they'll still need it as time goes forward.
Yeah. This again, we encourage you to do so. We will do so. This is just one of those things that it does feel very odd and surreal to continue on with your reality, but that is what you do. And so we hope you're well. Thoughts with everything. If there's anything that we can do, please do let us know on Twitter or otherwise. And now we are going to talk about the movies. So,
see,
segue?
That's not a segue.
No.
That was a good segue.
There is no segue.
That was very well handled, Roth. Thank you.
There's no good way to do
I'll
that.
help you out. Guys, it's my birthday.
Happy birthday!
Is it really?
Yeah.
Why didn't I know that that was
you're going to know later.
Oh, really? Oh, nice. Okay.
I was going to call you
on here. Do I have like a no? There's nothing there.
Happy birthday, Spencer.
What do you want for your birthday?
Exciting plans?
I got it right now. I got it all. What more could I ask for?
Yeah.
Aw, this is the
that's a
happiest
segue.
I've ever seen Spencer.
He's really
Did you do a special thing to celebrate this weekend?
Yeah, I'll be doing some fun stuff next weekend with some friends, but just tonight's, dinner with the family,
Aww.
Well, Spencer, are you glad that the Justice League spoiled the Justice League for you on your birthday?
I don't care.
Yeah, well, here's what happens. There was a baseball cap, actually, that was released that spoiled a character and plot detail from the upcoming Justice League movie. Guess what we're not going to do? We're not going to tell you what it was because we don't want to spoil things around here, but it did get us thinking about, and also, I mean... Probably we already know a lot of what's going on.
I got it spoiled ages to me. Yeah, I stupidly that spoiled it for everyone who didn't already have it spoiled. But yeah, I don't think it's whatever.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about it.
But we're not going to talk about it in case you didn't hear.
Yeah.
Well, it's so weird because I did read the description. And it goes out of its way. It'd be like if there was some kind of a Sixth Sense merchandise. Is like, this is the Bruce Willis trench coat to capture the spirit of the psychiatrist who plays in the movie. That's all you have to say. But then if the description on to say, who of course is shot in the first scene and ends up dead, and it's just like, what are you doing? Like, you could have easily done the description and it would have been fine. And then like this thing that they write is like just goes out of its way to go into more detail than you could possibly.
Well, I'm sure Warner's very upset at this hat company because it's you guys you're not getting any more licensed hats.
It's really weird because there's a level of detail in it too that, to Dan's point, for a baseball cap is so unnecessary.
Right, yeah.
Like, this is exactly how the thing that's going to happen happens. Like, why is that in your baseball cap description?
This is the Virgil Kaiser Soze orthopedic shoe. You'll notice Virgil has a limp because he's pretending to be Kaiser Soze, so you can do that too with this orthopedic left shoe.
It's really and my favorite part of the script that we got is the warning is after the paragraph.
It is.
You don't have to read this if you don't want. But next time, let's put the warning before the paragraph.
That was for me. So I've already been spoiled, but whatever. It doesn't matter.
It didn't spoil the movie or anything about it to me, but we won't do it to you. So you're welcome.
Seems like a major spoiler about several things.
About a number of different things. Yeah.
Yes.
I wonder how sensitive. There have to be people out there that are so sensitive to spoilers that they're sensitive about, like, Rosebud. You know what I mean? And what Rosebud
when's the time
is.
we've had
that
this
debate.
we had the when is a spoiler? Isn't it like 2 weeks?
2 weeks after you can start talking about it.
It
It depends.
start talking about it in a less guarded way, but not in a.
We did do a whole
publicly
ScreenJunkies
shouted
show
about
about
it.
it.
quick.
Spoiler etiquette we did.
2 weeks is pretty
what it was.
quick.
Don't
No?
go watch that though.
Okay, because it's full of spoilers. Well,
Yeah,
let's talk about
sure.
some of the times. You talked about this one. The Funko toy for Captain America spoiled the movie for you.
Thanks, Funko. You showed me the Giant Man popped out. That was something that they kept from all the trailers. Kept from every every promotional thing about the film. But going in, I knew that Giant Man was in it because I saw the Funko Pop.
No, that Giant Man was in it, but that Ant-Man becomes Giant Man because there is a Giant Man in the comics. It's not Ant-Man, right?
Andy, I knew that. I knew.
Yeah.
May I ask how the Giant Man Funko Pop is different from the Ant-Man Funko
Yeah.
Pop?
Just a larger
Or did
one.
they just sell the same one twice?
They
Can we pull that up somehow, or can somebody
The
tweet that to
Ant-Man
me?
Funko Pop?
Is it different, or what if are they next to each other?
he should have been
It's just
holding
like
a plane or something.
Well, that image wasn't to scale. It's actually
Yeah.
like, the size of a small.
I mean, it says 6-inch supersized pop,
Yeah,
but that's
a
like
pop would still go up to its
1 inch
head,
bigger
right.
than
Than
I
the
don't
regular
know.
Giant Man. It should be like that. Should be an action figure this tall, technically.
Yeah.
Well, that's annoying that
If
that's
it's
bigger
gonna-
than your other Funko Pops, because
Yeah.
then that ruins your shelf.
I hate that.
Your virginity
Well,
shrine that you've constructed in your bedroom of all the perfectly wrapped Funko Pops.
To scale.
Oh, here it is to scale.
Here we go.
I know how to. Yeah, it's close.
Close. Yeah.
All right.
Slightly different.
Slightly
Oh,
larger.
no.
Slightly
That's
taller.
not Ant-Man and Giant Man. It should be radically different things. G.I. Joe. Did you care about G.I. Joe?
I did not. I mean, I
Rise
care about
of
G.I. Joe.
the
Did not care
Cobra?
about that movie though.
No.
Spoilers. Well, an action figure spoiled the fact that Joseph Gordon-Levitt was indeed the
Cobra
villain.
Commander.
Yes.
Oh,
Look at that.
yeah, no,
Rex
that's
the
pretty,
Dr. Lewis.
Pretty evil.
pretty definitive there. Who bought that figure?
Is it a Freddy glove? I forgot that.
How
He had
many
a Freddy
people
Krueger
bought
glove?
that?
That's another piece of information. If you bought that figure,
The other thing that I love is did they change it enough from Joseph Gordon-Levitt to not have to pay him a royalty? That's
Right.
always my favorite thing about movie figures too. Do we think he got the royalty or not? I think no.
Probably not,
Probably
because he's
not.
all covered up.
Yeah,
what?
probably
Because
not.
Carrie Fisher didn't get a say. She used to make a joke that when she looked in the mirror, she had to give a couple bucks to Lucas. Like she owned none of her likeness. How
Yeah, I
did
mean that was
happen?
early. That was
Yeah.
early in the
Yeah.
days.
Before-
Lucas, you know the story. Lucas
Yeah.
famously didn't take as much
Famously.
money because he's like, I'm going to bet on the toys.
Yeah.
And holy
What a
moly,
great
was he
bet.
right on that
Yeah.
one.
And then Carrie Fisher,
And the sequel
meanwhile-
rights, the toys and the sequel rights is what he kept, which
She-
now would never have. No studio in
Never,
town would
no
ever
one
give a
would ever
filmmaker
sign that away.
No, because this is what happened all these years later. Yeah, and she famously, she went to the screening, I think, with her brother and was like in the back, kind of crouched down, like, I did this B movie. It's not going to be a thing. But, and her brother was like, forget, nobody's going to remember in like 2 weeks. An action, but it's beloved for years to come. An action figure of the Phantasm from Batman, The Mask of the Phantasm revealed that Bruce's love interest in the film was actually the
alert.
titular villain.
mean, this is
I
based
didn't
on
know
a-
that, though.
That's pretty
Spencer?
egregious.
Yeah. I mean, this is based on
The
the comic,
animated
right?
movie. But no, but this is as seen in the animated movie. Spoiler alert. Well, you could just assume that's
I'm
just a
confusing with
two-pack.
Red Hood or something, because I thought that was known already. No?
No, that was not a known thing.
It is not known.
Sorry.
Khaleesi.
Sorry if you didn't see the
Spoiler
movie.
alert.
Spoiler alert.
It is not known. This one is so OG that I kind of like it. The action figure
Dan
for
knows all
Dick
about this.
Tracy
I do. Tracy
revealed
Tuesday.
that
Talking
Madonna's. What are you talking?
He did Tracy Tuesdays on
Tracy
Flickbait where he
Tuesdays on
brought in all of
Flickbait.
his
It's like
characters.
Force Friday, yeah.
talking about Dick Tracy.
It's really rare to have one without
Yeah.
the hat on. I mean, the mask on.
So this revealed that Madonna's character was actually the movie's main villain, which is like
Well, and consequently, that is one of the most expensive, hard to find action figures because they did not make a lot of them for that precise
And then
reason.
they pulled them off the shelves.
They pulled them off the shelves, and they didn't. So the blank is actually to this
Really,
day
really hard to get.
really one of the last few really difficult to find collectibles because it was.
What do you think it's worth? What would you value that at?
Oh, I don't know. I'm sure we tried
look
to
it up.
find them at some point. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, is that thousands of dollars?
I think it's definitely. Yeah, I remember buying it for What's in the Box, the Kevin Smith show, and
Yeah.
it was impossible to get.
Wow.
It was
Blank is really
several
hard to
$1,000s.
Huh.
I don't even think it was on eBay. Yeah, I couldn't find it, but then I looked, Googled, and found that it was,
That's
10
interesting that they were worried about spoilers, though, in like a pre-internet era. Like, that's kind of interesting that 100 or so people who bought it would actually know the twist because
Yeah.
they bought the toy, but like no one else would.
Yeah. Would they just start a letter writing campaign? Or
Dear
like-
Wizard magazine.
Would they send ravens?
Yeah.
Like, what was going on at that point?
They're live on the
there
news.
There was a letter writing campaign when Keaton, we know about
Was
this.
Batman,
It was
yeah.
Batman. So, I mean, even pre-internet, people found a way.
Found a way to communicate. with each
Communicate. I
other
don't even
somehow.
know what happened. Ravens and pigeons. So, did you guys see Oz the Great and Powerful?
No,
Yes.
I did. I wish I had.
I didn't.
Did you did not see it?
I did see it.
I couldn't care less. But yeah, go ahead.
So-
Spoil that for me.
I guess a mug revealed that Mila Kunis was actually going to turn into the Wicked Witch of the West.
No.
Wow, it really says Wicked Witch of the West on the
Yeah, it's
inside.
like
in case you
literally
were-
like
had
in
a
case
doubt.
if you didn't hear it in the back, this is Mila Kunis, this Wicked Witch. Although I gotta say, like, I don't necessarily register that that's Mila Kunis.
Not me. Yeah.
Immediately.
You know,
I don't know if I'm going to
you know what
count
else
this
Mila
one.
Kunis was in? Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves, the third sequel to the Honey, I Shrunk the franchise with Rick Moranis coming back, but no one else did. It's really bad.
How
They
old
just
was
took
she?
advantage of green screen, but she's a very little kid, and they are eating dip. It's weird because
Super
my
weird.
kid had it on for some reason, and they're eating chips and dip.
Wait,
and
was this like in the last week? Because I feel like I was scrolling.
It was on Netflix.
Yeah.
And it came on by accident, and Netflix. I was fast, and I
'Cause
there was a
Daddy-
car.
Daddy
There
put
was
it
a Hot
on?
Wheels scene I wanted to show him, and then we just fast forward through.
Did Daddy accidentally click all
And
the
I was like,
buttons
"Is that
to
Mila
make it
Kunis?"
play?
It
And
was.
then It was accidentally
Sorry,
on.
but yeah, she was also the Wicked Witch. Don't worry about that spoiler. That was not a great movie.
Yeah, but that was kind of up in the air, though.
Figure of the blank just sold recently for $700.
$700.
That's
Okay,
it?
so the figure of the blank sold for $700, which is not a crazy amount of money, but I will
Is that
take it.
mint condition, new in box? You know,
It's,
dead stock.
It's new in box.
Okay.
Oh wow. Okay.
All right.
More- less
but-
than I thought. Still, that's a lot.
But I
still.
mean, in the internet age, when like the whole thing about collectibles was like the con that they sold me with all the cards that are sitting in a box in my closet at home in my childhood home was that they're rare. So, and I don't think anyone anticipated the internet. So the collectible market fell through because rarity stopped being a thing because you could just find whatever you wanted. So
Can I share a
even
warning
$700
for
is
collectors
pretty
that I
good.
learned this weekend? I tweeted about this, but my kid, I'm getting him into Simpsons, and so I have the World of Springfield, those toys that the Playmates made, which are my like favorite collectibles in the world. But I had them boxed up, and I brought them out so my kid could play with them, and we're playing with everybody. It's awesome. But the thing I learned is each of the play sets had batteries in them, and they've been stored for 15 years, and I forgot to take the batteries out, so a lot of them are leaking and breaking. If you store your toys, you got to take the batteries out, and you don't really remember to do that. Like I have a Buzz Lightyear and a Woody that is still packaged I never opened, that I'm realizing they probably have batteries. Like
Battery
it
acid
sucks.
leaking
The
out of the
battery
back of
acid
them.
ruins the toy, and then you can't actually use it again. So anyway, actual friendly warning.
Actual There you
Go.
advice.
Go unpack your toy at some point, take the batteries out if you haven't already, and then repack them because you're actually ruining your toys if you keep the batteries in.
I want to know, what did you ever collect?
Comics, baseball cards,
Dead bodies?
dead bodies. No, I think those two pretty much covered it.
Baseball cards? Which comics? Did you put them
Sadly,
in?
like I mean, I have a couple awesome, like rare early Marvel ones, but mostly Image,
I
early
knew
90s
it.
Image comics.
You strike me as an Image guy.
I was very susceptible, like my skateboards and my bloody adult-oriented comics.
Nice. I have a whole trunk full somewhere in New York in storage of comics, each beautifully placed in its plastic, and I won't tell you which comic series it is. I'm going to allow you to guess about that.
Gem and the Holograms.
Close.
She-Ra.
Very, very close both times. Lego ruins a lot of things. I feel like Lego
Yeah,
sets,
including Ninjago. What a stupid movie.
It wasn't
Wow.
that bad.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
I feel like
the
Lego
cat
It was
sets-
cute.
complete fluff.
No, the cat was the best
Yeah.
part. That movie was all
You saw
ugh.
Lego Ninjago?
I did.
With Epic Voice Kid.
With a child.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, for reviewing. I thought you
Anyway,
just
I
went on
didn't
your
like
own and saw.
I was very bored with that movie. Anyway, sorry.
I was a clock watcher.
That was
for
a
me.
bad move, Lego.
Yeah.
Go back to the IP you don't own.
Well, nobody, I mean, anyway, whatever. And nobody wanted that movie.
No. Except for Lego to try and sell
I guess
old
I probably
Ninjago
had
sets that have been
lower,
gathering dust on the
lower
shelves.
expectations than you guys. I expected to hate it, and I was like, this is like a
The
cartoon.
cat was very. I'm gonna watch the cat scenes on YouTube later. I guess.
Is there a
just
cat?
videos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, I'm not. I don't feel
in
concerned.
the trailer
about this,
now,
but
so I
I'm
feel
now
like I can
interested in the
spoil it.
movie. I'll watch the movie because there's a cute cat. You just
The
told
bad
me
Just
guy
watch the
is
scenes.
a real cat in the Lego world.
Okay, now I'm
Because
watching
it's
it.
true, cats are the
Cats
worst when you're
mess up
building
your-
Legos. They always knock
Yeah.
the stuff off, lose a piece because they're batting at
We
it.
have to rebuild our Hoth Snowspeeder actually currently because the cat knocked it off the table. Yeah. Go back to formula.
Cats are the biggest villain of Lego. Anyway, but what did they
Love
spoil?
Legos,
Rob?
love cats.
Iron Man 3. It spoiled Iron Man 3. Yeah, the ending of it. Look at it. Basically reveals the ending of the film in the third act battle.
Oh, but that doesn't look like Guy Pearce.
Not really.
What the
that
hell
was
is
Memento.
happening in there? He's
Yeah,
fighting a
it's kind of a
golf cart
stretch.
with a meteor shooting
It's
hose.
the Mandarin. They're trying to. But the ultimate
that's actually
trailer
not-
wasn't.
this
that's
isn't-
actually
It's
not
actually
it at
not a
all.
spoiler.
We're not
Pull
gonna.
the wrong image.
That's an anti-spoiler.
There is one where they actually had one that revealed that the Mandarin was not.
Billy Business is telling us off camera because that makes
that picture.
for great television when we stop and listen to a thing that you can't hear. What's going on? He's telling us he pulled up the wrong image because there is one that actually did. So you just have to trust on us on that thing and frankly all other
That one doesn't count. So
we won't count that one. The highly secretive Cloverfield campaign. Do you guys remember this? It came out and it was like 10 Cloverfield Lane and it didn't want to reveal anything.
Yeah.
But except they revealed a toy with the monsters. Like, which only show up at the...
I remember that.
Yeah.
Wow. So that was for the first Cloverfield.
Yeah, Cloverfield.
Yeah. Oh, I'm talking about 10 Cloverfield Lane, which I mean Cloverfield. That's a whole other secret campaign.
Yeah,
They still ruin
That's
the
like the
monster,
clearest image of the monster in the whole movie.
I don't think that clear of an image in the movie, exactly.
I don't think
Did you
I've
guys
ever
like
seen it.
Cloverfield?
I did.
Yeah, it's fine.
Do you guys remember the hype? Like
Remember
people were like,
Cloverfield?
people thought it was a Voltron movie because they were like analyzing the trailer frame by frame, and they're like, "He said it's a lion. He said it's a lion. It's huge. That means it's a Voltron. That means it's a Voltron." Like people were so confused and excited by that because they just dropped that trailer in the middle of nowhere and was like, "We're not going to tell you what it's for." It was the height of Lost.
Yeah.
I analyzed that trailer.
I don't remember the Voltron thing. I don't remember anyone thinking
People
that it
said
was
somebody
Voltron.
in the because someone in the trailer I think says something like it's alive, it's huge, but somebody's like, no, they're saying it's a
a
lion,
lion.
it's huge, which means it's one of the pieces of Voltron, which means that it's going to be fighting a giant monster in New York. It's like a whole
It still could cross over. This franchise is very mysterious.
There was that movie with Anne Hathaway. I think it was last year.
Colossal.
Where you got a giant monster. You got a giant monster robot fight. It was. I actually dug that chick.
I enjoyed that movie.
Chick. I like that chick. I also like that flick. It's a good picture.
Good chick flick.
Voltron. You know what the thing with Cloverfield for me was? Did not like the people. Didn't like the monster. Found myself rooting for the monster. Didn't think that was how I was supposed to feel.
That was like King Kong Skull Island for me too.
Yeah.
Rooting. Well, you're supposed to root for the monster in that one, though. I don't think in Cloverfield you're supposed to root for the monster.
That was sorry.
No,
that was our
please.
first big dose of T.J. Miller. That movie.
Cloverfield.
Yeah.
He's the camera guy. You don't see him much, but he's there. You hear him. Much like the Emoji Movie.
Yeah, you hear him.
Cloverfield's better.
You know what else I hear?
What?
Liam Neeson.
He's back,
not
baby.
retiring. He's back. Don't call it a comeback. Come on. I get a segue for that.
JT's asleep.
JT's been asleep.
What is happening?
Is that him saying we don't get a segment?
What was that?
That's when I don't get one.
Can you bring that back up? That was like
No, you have to earn it. You have to earn
The
it.
detail was incredible. on
No,
that.
yeah, you have to say
I
it the
just
next
want to know
time.
what it is. Does that mean that does that happen when we don't get a segue?
That's JT saying no.
JT. That was
like
not
that.
bad.
I was weirded by the. Was like a sexy shot of Roth behind him? Hell, there's some
I'm not sure what
You see
I
what's
want
happening.
to analyze
we'll
that
have to-
image like the Cloverfield trailer.
Thing there.
Wow. Awesome. Yes.
It
Liam
looks like
Neeson.
I'm in some kind of leopard print, which very well. Liam Neeson, during an interview at TIFF, Toronto International Film Festival, Sky News, basically said, look, quote, about action movies, they're still throwing serious money at me to do this stuff.
I love the honesty.
Like, is this just like, was he just drunk? Like, this is so honest. They're still throwing serious money at me to do this stuff, and I'm like, guys, I'm like 60 fucking 5. Audiences are eventually going to go, come on. And then he added to Collider about how much longer he would be doing this. Maybe 2 more years if God spares me and I'm healthy. Oh my God. I feel like he was in a dark place at TIFF. But after that, I'll stop the action. I think the success of certainly the Taken films, Hollywood seems to see me in a different light. I get sent quite a few action-oriented scripts, which is great. I'm not knocking it. It's very flattering, but there's a limit, of course. Now, in a more recent interview with Variety, first of all, he was clearly drunk, right?
Yeah. We also said, I think,
little
he was
buzzed,
a lot of, maybe still down.
I love how honest that is.
Yeah.
But then to Variety, he said the following opposite thing. It's not true. Look at me. You're talking in the past tense. I'm going to be doing action movies until they bury me in the ground. I'm unretired.
That sounds sarcastic.
I love Liam Neeson so much in both of these quotes because one, I feel like he's like, whatever, I'll take your cash. Like the latter one. Fine.
I will take your cash.
Do we want more Takens?
I have a
What do
very
you
particular
think?
set of skills.
I don't
can
want
play
any more
an
Takens.
action star.
No. I'm still astounded, and I feel like everyone took this way too easily. This has got to be the biggest career pivot in the history of movies. Like, how did this happen? How
John
did you get
Travolta was
here?
pretty good comeback. For
I mean,
a
that
minute.
was a good comeback, but it would be like if John Travolta said, "I'm going to do vaudeville now," or
Yeah.
like it was like a completely.
He actually resurrected vaudeville. That would be.
Yeah.
It's like a
That would be
completely different
amazing.
kind of acting.
Yeah, but go back to Taken. Like, I want to give Taken a little bit more props than it deserves. Like, it was actually a cool movie. Like, the rest of them ruined the franchise for sure, but the first Taken was a little bit more hefty, dramatic, and then it goes into... It's like Death Wish. Like, I could see why someone like Liam Neeson would like to try a different role, and then it was such a kind of surprise because I think he brought the gravitas to it that it's like then he started just cashing in, doubling down, and like, well, I could do 10 more Takens. But it's like Bruce Willis. Who would have thought the guy from Moonlighting would be killer as John McClane?
Well, yeah, but I mean that was still kind of like action to come. But I'm saying like that. I'm trying to think of an equivalent today. Like that would be like if
Hugh Grant.
Yeah, if Hugh, I don't even know if Hugh Grant could do. Yeah, if Hugh Grant was like, I'm going to do action now.
Hugh Grant's more
Like,
comedy though, romance.
But,
Or
but Liam
like
Neeson
say-
was
dramatic.
that guy.
What
He was
about-
Rob Roy. Like, he's done action before.
What about Colin
Rob
Firth?
Roy's not an action movie.
A little bit.
He's
Yeah.
doing it a little bit.
Colin
Colin
Firth
Firth?
just did it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That-
Yeah,
just
it'd be
did
like
it.
Colin Firth now being like, I'm
he-
going to
he did.
only do action movies.
Oh, only action. Okay.
Like Liam Neeson is known for being an action movie star right now.
he is, but he does other films. I mean, The Gray was not really an action movie.
They sold it like
It's a
one.
great movie. Yes, it is. It's a beautiful meditation on masculinity, and I encourage you to enjoy it regularly.
Regularly.
Yeah.
Maybe once.
He's
That's
like
not a
the perfect
rewatchable
depiction
movie.
of the alpha male. He's the actual alpha male. And it's amazing because then they have the toxic alpha male right next to him in Frank Grillo's character. And I think one of my favorite moments in that movie is he just looks at Frank Grillo and he goes, if you don't stop, I'm going to hit you so many times. And he just tells, it's like, it's totally just, that's what's going to happen. I don't want to do it. You're making me do it. He's like the perfect alpha male in that movie.
All right.
That's not what the trailer said.
That's not how it was marketed.
And that's
But there
what
was no wolf
disappointed
punching.
people was, again, it's like Mother, the trailer told us it was
Yeah,
going to
Only
be
we had a
Liam Neeson
video about
fights
that.
wolves.
We do today.
We do have a
today.
video
It's
about
coming
that.
up.
We have a video about it. Just that. You know, I'm going to continue to pitch my Taken Leftovers crossover where everybody's taken and Liam Neeson has to fight God until somebody does
That's really
it
the only place left for it
as
to go.
a
he playing
Lego
God
movie. Huh?
Is he playing God too?
No, Morgan Freeman's playing God.
Naturally.
Obviously. Come on. Get it together. We have a fan question. All right, JT.
Yeah, there it is.
Just forget it. I get no segue for that. Jane says, "Hi, can you please?"
Jane says! I'm thinking it too.
Can you please ask the boys in the next SJU? Hi, Jane. If they have a movie that they like but don't recommend to other people, for example, I like Lars von Trier's movies, but I would never recommend one of those movies to my friends. Hi, Jane. Thank you for your question, boys.
I'll recommend a Lars von Trier movie. Did you? He made Melancholia, right? Wasn't that him?
Yeah, that's not totally the question, but I like where you're going.
Yeah,
he
but,
did
but
make
that's one
Melancholia.
that I like.
Yeah.
That you wouldn't recommend?
That I wait. What's the question exactly?
So the question is there a movie that you like that you wouldn't necessarily recommend? So she's saying she likes Lars von Trier, but she wouldn't necessarily tell her friends.
Right.
Because she doesn't know that they would like it. I also enjoy Lars von Trier much of the time. I think my
Right.
favorite is
Not
still
all the
Breaking the
time.
Waves.
Fair. I haven't
Like
seen that
Breaking the
one.
Waves.
Yeah, it's hard.
That
If I
said,
don't
I
like a
will-
movie, I don't want to recommend it.
I think
But I'm like embarrassed to like it, or it's too.
I just don't think
ones
other
like
people
it.
will like
the
it.
one
Yeah.
movie that I know is terrible and that I would not recommend that anyone watch is London Has Fallen.
No,
That's a movie that I enjoy.
London
That's a
Has
movie
Fallen,
that
not
I
Olympus.
not
Oh,
Olympus Has
okay,
Fallen.
got it.
London Has
Got
Fallen.
it.
That is a movie that I myself
I'm gonna watch it
personally
now.
Yeah, I'm with you.
enjoy.
Okay, fair.
However, it's everything I usually hate about an
Yes.
action movie. It's stupid. It's corny. It has bad special effects. It's more than borderline racist. Let's be honest. However, for
Haven't seen
some
it.
reason,
Yeah.
I am just like, it's just a stupid Gerard Butler movie, and I'm able to hand wave it. However, I would not recommend that you see that movie because I'm pretty sure it's terrible.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. All right, you came around
So
with
that's-
me.
yeah, so that's
because it
one-
is a guilty. It's a guilty pleasure in a weird way.
Yeah, and it's super guilty pleasure, but I would not be like, oh, you have to see
Yeah.
London Has
No, I
Fallen,
agree.
because I'm pretty convinced that it's a terrible movie. I just, for whatever reason, alchemy, brain chemistry, I don't know. I like that one where I hate so many other ones. I can't explain it. Don't ask me for an explanation. I don't have one.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of ones I hate that I could suggest. It's rare that
Or movies that you just like. I secretly, well, not so secretly because I talk about it on a camera. I secretly love Roland Emmerich. Like I love Last Day Before Tomorrow. What's it?
Yeah,
what is
Day
it?
After Tomorrow.
The Last Day After Tomorrow, whatever the fuck. And I love like that all of his disastrous sequences. If you could just cut them together, I would watch that. But another one that's in the opposite edge of the side of the spectrum from that is Waking Life.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I love Waking Life, which link later, right?
You could just like
Exactly.
just watch it.
You could just watch it. You could just hang back and watch that movie. And it's a movie that me and Spencer and 5 other people probably enjoy, but most people would hate that movie because literally all it is a bunch of people walking around having philosophical conversations and they're rotoscoped.
Yeah, they've done that effect that I thought was fascinating when it came out. I wonder if it's still
like a Scanner
like a Scanner
Darkly.
Darkly.
Yeah, like a Scanner Darkly. Well, it's rotoscoping, and so basically they shot it live action and then they turned them animated.
Painted over it.
And I love that movie, like love it. But it's not one that I recommend to people.
Yeah, it's great.
I felt that way about A Ghost Story too. That's for a more recent movie.
I'm dying
A Ghost
to see
Story.
that.
That's one that like I liked it. However, it has so many things that I think are indulgent and that I hate in other movies that I could never say like, oh, go see A Ghost Story. You'll love it. Like I honestly, if you came up to me and said like, what are you thinking? That was the worst movie I saw this year. I would be like, I can understand that. Mm-hmm. I get it. It's just
it's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone, and I don't even know who it's for, quite honestly. Like I liked it, but if you said you hated it, I would agree with you on most of your points.
I'm dying to see that one.
I would suggest then Neil Breen movies. Those are pretty awful, but I love them in that awful way. Have any of you actually watched a Neil Breen movie? I saw Flawless Fatality. Is it Flawless Fatalities or Flawed? But I don't even remember that. It's really hard to watch, but you have to be ready to. It's like The Room level, but I would say it's worse. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's worse.
It's more out there.
Yeah, like. Room spent money at least and hired people.
So it's like The Room with less money, but also way more ambitious.
Yeah,
like he's trying to make an action movie.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just really poorly paced, poorly edited. The poor women he casts opposite himself to make out with. It's all just weirdly bad. It's just a bad movie as bad movie gets. I would not recommend it because it's awful, but awful in that sort of brilliant way of like this is definitely done in a way you can't get in any other movie.
I would of the Roland Emmerich filmography, I would especially not recommend, though I do love it, is Anonymous, which was his Shakespeare authorship movie.
Oh.
And it's like the only
What blows
movie.
up?
It's so many things. It's the only, nothing blows up, but it's the only movie about Shakespeare that has like helicopter shots.
Yeah.
And it's like all of it's on green screen and it doesn't make any sense. And the actual idea of itself of the authorship is whatever, debatable. I don't agree. But it's one of these movies that like he comes out of the Tower of London at a certain point and he's meeting his friend by a carriage and all I could think of was Jake and Elwood the entire time. And if you can name what movie I'm talking about, you're my new best friend. And it was
Those brothers?
Yeah. And he's my new best
Spoiler
friend.
alert.
Call me every 5 minutes. Anyway, long story endless. That one is the most insane, I think, of the Roland Emmerich movies.
Sounds nuts.
Because it's about Shakespeare. Why?
That's not what I expect them to do. Right?
Now I
You
wanna
said
see it.
nothing.
Oh, well, no.
No, he picked Lars von Trier.
Yeah, I'll go with Melancholia. It's like a Roland Emmerich movie if instead of like watching the end of the world, you knew the end of the world was coming.
And you
So
were
it's
super
just
depressed.
it's just 2 hours of people grappling with knowing that their life is about to end, which is not a fun time, but it's beautiful and I thought it was actually kind of poignant.
Yeah, I really liked Melancholia as well. I don't recommend it without a steady stream of Prozac
Yeah.
available to you. It's been our show today.
Can I also pitch a TV show? Big Brother. Ugh, I love it, but I don't want anyone to ever watch it because it's just a terrible show. I'm coming to realize it.
Yeah. Do you have guilty pleasure TV?
It's just
I love Survivor, but I still think it's a good show.
yeah, Survivor's
honestly.
good.
I think Survivor's actually
good.
a
Big
good
Brother
show.
is awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, things that are diners, dive-ins, and drives.
But let's get Sam Levine on Big Brother.
Triple
Hell
D,
yeah,
man.
Triple D.
Can we get Sam Levine on Celebrity Big Brother? Because that would be a good one. He wants to be on it.
I watch The Voice. That's my reality show. I do watch The Voice.
Are you excited for American Idol to come back?
No,
Yeah,
don't care.
that's so dumb.
I'm really weird. I never watched American Idol, but
Yeah, I don't know
only
why
The
they
Voice.
rushing it back.
They're so much nicer on The Voice than on Idol. It's not
Why
about
do they
being
rotate the
mean.
judges so much? Like only Adam Levine and Blake
Adam and
get
Blake
better
are
things
to do.
always
They're like
there.
touring
Why?
musicians. They
They're
can go
touring.
do
Yeah, but
whatever
why
they
do they
want.
stick around and no one else does? How
Adam
come
and
all the
Blake?
Yeah, and they never have a steady female. They just rotate the females in and out. Like, is that because they're busy, or are they? What's the deal?
What's the deal, Ralph?
I mean, I don't produce. I
But
don't
do you are
produce the
Blake and
program.
Adam the only ones you like? You're like they have to be there for the voice to
Adam
work for
and
you.
Blake?
Yeah.
I don't know because I've never seen it without Adam and Blake. So I don't know. Jennifer, the new coach this year, so Miley
J.
Cyrus
Hud,
is
yeah.
back. But Jennifer Hudson is the new coach, and I got to tell you, she's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's been through it.
She's very,
she
very
was
good.
from
Yeah.
American Idol.
Yeah. I enjoy her. She's pretty ruthless with the other coaches.
Nice.
And I enjoy that about her. That's been our show. Let us know your guilty pleasures in the comments below related to entertainment, related to traditional
whatever.
film and television
You can
entertainment.
tweet at Spencer your other pleasures.
You can let Spencer
Yeah.
what you like outside of those realms. And again, our thoughts are with everyone in Las Vegas today, and wherever that has been affected by this. Please do donate blood if you can, and thank you for watching us. Please do be nice to each other.